Hello, everyone. My name is Lorenzo Robinson.
I'm Moxon Glosson.
I'm Wesley Price.
And this is the next episode of RU Sports Speaks. This is a very special episode. We have a very, very special guest. First time joining us. Special guest, please introduce yourself.
Evan Quinones here, senior at Reinhardt.
Evan, how you doing, man? You having a good day?
Having a jolly old day, just finishing school, trying to get the semester over with good.
Jolly old Saint Nick. I feel you. Well, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to talk a little bit of NBA playoff basketball, or should I say NBA play-in basketball. The first night of the play-in was it was interesting. Brooklyn beating Cleveland. I think we all kind of saw that coming. Weren't expecting that to go a different way, right? Brooklyn, KD, Kyrie, come on, But that Minnesota and the Clippers game, Minnesota went down early. What are we thinking about that?
Look like a game at the Y, man. A lot of goofy basketball going on there.
I think it's exactly what you want to see in a play-in game. You know what I mean? Just any wild card game across any sport, you want to see crazy stuff like that, and I think that's exactly what we got to see. Even in the mouth guard throw in the Hawks Hornets game. I mean, that's kind of stuff you're just like, yeah. I mean, I see that happening in an elimination game like that. Everything on the line. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel that, but I also feel like this is kind of Clippers karma. You got Kawhi Leonard, who I think is a top 5 player when he's healthy. But I feel like that man's ready to play, and he's just sitting out. I don't know what he's doing, and he's just sitting out and not playing, making Paul George look not as good as he should be.
So you think that Kawhi is holding himself out?
Yeah, he did it with the Spurs, yeah.
That's interesting.
He's never going to live that down. He's never going to live sitting
He
down.
won a whole championship since then.
He did.
But, I mean, this game was interesting just on a few fronts because Minnesota, they have so many young pieces, right? Talking about Ant-Man, you got Jared Vanderbilt, you got McDaniels, Naz Reid. They got so many, young guys who've never been in this situation before. And the Clippers, even without Kawhi, they're a pretty good team, but they're like a veteran team. They have guys who've been there. They got a Reggie Jackson. Norman Powell's won a championship before. Paul George, of course.
We got Morris.
Yeah, Marcus Morris. So it was an interesting situation where it kind of felt like the Clippers were going to win, and then they jumped out to that early lead. So it kind of felt like they were going to win because, when a team with experience gets up like that, you figure they just know how to, stem the tide, stop runs. And then Cat was playing so bad.
Man.
Yeah, I see here he went 3 for 11. He had 11 points. 5 rebounds and 3 assists, 24 minutes, and then he fouled out.
I didn't know we played that badly.
He was terrible.
It was a good amount of shots where he just chucked it in the general vicinity of the rim.
He started 0 for 7.
Yeah.
Dang.
0 for 7, 2 points in the first half. And that's your star
hit a free
player.
throw to save his life. Then they pan over to his father, and his dad's just shaking his
It
head.
just imagine that.
But it's why you want to have, not just one guy to carry the load. You got 3 guys. D-Lo putting up 29 and 6. Ant-Man coming up with 30. This is why you have a group of, star players, quote unquote.
Then you had Pat Bev doing all the dirty work, agitating people and playing a little scrappy basketball.
We got to talk about Pat Bev.
Oh man,
Pat Bev.
you did not.
I'm not
win
gonna
a
lie.
championship.
I'm not gonna lie and say that I like Pat Bev because I don't really like Pat Bev.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be a liar.
I
I
didn't think y'all
appreciate his
did.
game though. I know he doesn't care if I like him, but I appreciate his game. I appreciate what he brings to the table. But why is Pat Bev jumping up on the scores table, throwing his jersey in the crowd like they just won the championship? Y'all just won the first round of the play-in.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, he's like the type of player that I hate on every other team. But if he's on my team,
You'll
I'll love
like him.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like the Trae Young. I mean, he's not Trae Young, but it's like the Trae Young effect.
Absolutely.
He gets on my nerves like Bill Laimbeer will if I'm watching a 30 for 30. He's that same type of, I'm a jerk and I don't care. I'm unapologetic about it type of player.
Which,
it is literally in his blood. He posted a picture of his daughter's text messages where she's like a little girl. She's playing basketball, and she informed him that she got ejected from her little league game, and he is applauding her in the text messages.
He's
but it's
saying
telling
that's
her
what you do.
Yeah.
Oh my
So,
gosh,
that's
dude!
just in him.
I believe it. I believe it with him.
Black Air Force activity.
Yes,
Most definitely. But I mean, he was hype, and the crowd was hype. It was a cool thing, especially coming back from COVID, and not having crowds until late in the year last year, and this year being a full normal season for the first time in a long time. It was cool to see a crowd interact with the players like that, and it'd be positive because we've seen those negative interactions too. Mm-hmm. So just the crowd just be on their side. That was cool to see. It was just just a little much, just a little bit.
Let me ask you a question, Renzo.
Tiny bit.
I know you've seen in the NFL when locker room situations happen when they go on live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does the NBA monitor that stuff, or do they? Because I haven't personally heard. Yeah, I was supposed to say I haven't personally heard of a situation, but I feel like if there would be.
It's not
stuff
as
like the Pat Bev situation. It would be an example. Cause
I mean, he got fined. It was like $30,000, but that's nothing.
With how much
it's not a big deal. Yeah, and that'll barely reach the news cycle. Him getting fined,
especially with the playoff bonus and stuff.
Yeah, and in the NBA, it's like so much more of an individual sport that they kind of like it when players show that kind of fire and emotion and stuff, especially after big high leverage moments, big high leverage games. And storyline, Pat Bev going against his old team and everything. Mm-hmm. So
I guess that's why he jumped up. And when he jumped up, I was like, come on, dude.
And then he started crying going into the tunnel hey, yo,
is
this the biggest game you've ever won, man?
He hit 1 3 and just started jacking up shots. You would have thought he thought he was Kobe, literally. Yeah. He just thought he was just full playoff mode. I'm going to take this game over.
I was definitely a little perturbed by his behavior. But a good win for them. Big for that franchise. Definitely. I know in recent memory, the only time they've been to the playoffs was 2018, if I'm not mistaken. That Jimmy Butler team, Jimmy Butler, Wiggins, and Cat. And they had Derrick Rose at point guard. Thibodeau was their coach. Lost to the Rockets. That was a pretty decent team, and they were really good until Jimmy Butler went down with an injury. So they kind of backed into the playoffs. But that was the best team that they've had in a long time, since the KG era. Yeah. So it's cool to see them, get into the playoffs, and with the play-in situation, having to play their way in, being able to win a game like that. It was nice for those young guys to make that happen. On to the Nets. We don't really have to touch on this one too much, but I do want to give a shout out to Darius Garland. I really love Darius Garland's game for the Cavs. He had 34 points. He was fearless going against those stars. He wasn't backing down. They just didn't have quite enough to make a real push in that game. But Darius Garland, he's going to be a star in this league.
So is Evan Mobley.
Yes, Evan Mobley. I can't forget about Evan Mobley. I think that he is what you would want in a modern center, to be able to switch on the guards and still be able to defend down low. But I do think the combination of him and Jarrett Allen works well because they're both pretty versatile. So I think the Cavs are going to need Jarrett Allen back if they're going to, protect their 8 seed. But I think the Cavs played well, all things considered, with the injuries that they are going through.
Colin Sexton's not there.
Yeah. I think they played pretty well, all things considered. You saw a little bit of point guard KD, with 11 assists. That was an interesting development that he could pass the ball like that. When this happened,
he always felt like he was an elite passer, according to him.
Yeah, he called himself the PG from PG County. You know what I'm saying?
Finally walked it like he talked it.
It was just different to see KD being the playmaker. Kyrie having 12 assists, but he had 34 points. Kyrie gonna get his. One of the most unguardable players in league history. But I mean, I think we pretty much knew how this game was gonna go. I think the Cavs probably showed a little bit better than we may have thought. Just playing as hard as they did. I gotta give them a lot of credit, but they still have another shot though against the team that won the next play-in game, which was the Hawks and the Hornets, and the Atlanta Hawks coming away with the 29-point victory.
Yes, sir.
Hey, the Hawks look ready, man. They look ready.
I think the Hawks did some psychological warfare. At the game.
I heard about that.
They had the Hornets walking to the arena.
Yeah, I saw that because the train was stuck. That's hilarious. No, I think that I think the Hawks are gonna beat the Cavaliers just as much as they beat the Hornets.
We have our first prediction of the day. You want to lock that in?
I'm locking it in.
Hawks over Cavs.
Hawks over Cavs, and then I'll save my upset for later.
Uh-oh.
Moxon, anything you want to add about this playing game?
I think it depends on if the Cavs have what's his name, Allen.
Jared Allen, yeah.
I think it depends on if they have him. If he isn't in there,
it's over with.
I think the boys got a good shot.
He just said that he's 50-50 to play.
Right.
So we'll see.
We'll see
if he plays, and if he plays, like how well he's gonna move and stuff. It's gonna be interesting. He hasn't played a game in a while. Will he be in game shape?
Yeah, that's another question too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Hawks look more ready. I know the eye test is kind of an arbitrary thing across all sports, but I always place way too much of an emphasis on it, and I always use it. I think the Hawks they look ready. I mean, we've seen them go a pretty dang far distance before. I think we can do it again.
I got the Hawks too. They were one game away from a finals appearance.
2 games.
Oh, I'm sorry.
4-2.
4-2. 2 games away from
Milwaukee.
Hey, but close.
Yeah, and against a
Very
really good team.
And Trae Young went down, didn't he?
Yeah, Trae Young got hurt. Tried to play through it in Game 6, but obviously wasn't the same.
And I genuinely think they're going to need a true counter just to Atlanta in general, scoring-wise.
John Collins might be coming back soon, so we can win this game. He could be back next series.
That's the thing about Atlanta, especially when you have these teams. We saw it throughout the Eastern Conference, like that top half of the East during the last few weeks, how some of those teams were like resting guys and holding guys back on minutes.
Yeah.
Because, hey, Brooklyn, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, you got to beat those guys 4 times. And then the Atlanta Hawks, if the Hawks beat the Cavs, the Atlanta Hawks team that just made the conference finals last year, 2 games away from making the finals, that's not a team that people just want to see.
No.
That's why we saw a team like Milwaukee rest a lot of their guys down the stretch. We saw Philly kind of try out different things throughout the back half of the season, not really caring if they were dropping some games. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting.
Definitely going to be a cool playoffs.
Yeah, the second West play-in 9-10 game, the Pelicans beating the Spurs. I mean, I did see the game, and I'm going to give another shout-out. My guy Herb Jones went to Alabama, plays for the Pelicans now. One of, if not the best defender in the NBA. But I'll hold off on him being the best just because he's a rookie. I'll just call him top 5 for now. He can guard 1 through 5 legitimately. Block shots, get steals, great on ball, off the ball. Just a tremendous defender. I think a guy like him, a long, rangy wing that can play defense, a good complement to guys like B.I. and McCollum and hopefully Zion,
Yeah.
Hopefully, right?
Hopefully.
So,
Mr. 360.
just shout out to Herb Jones. But, yeah, this game is pretty much open and shut. Brandon Ingram did his thing. C.J. McCollum did his thing. DeJounte Murray coming back from his illness wasn't really that effective. Spurs made a late push. We know Pop not going to go down without a fight.
No.
But, I mean.
I did make it interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty much what we thought.
Yep.
This is the one playing game that I'm just like, because the Suns are going to beat them 4-1, whoever they play.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting. So, Hawks, Cavs, we all pretty much said we got the Hawks, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Pels, Clippers, who are we looking at? We looking at Pels, we're looking at the Clippers. I'll say I got the Clippers just because of their pedigree, their coaching, their culture. I don't think they'll be a team that'll just, go out like that. I think they're going to at least put themselves in the situation to play a 7-game series.
I think this is another playing game, correct?
Yeah, it's 8-9.
I genuinely think this might be the most entertaining playing game, and let me tell you why. I think you got 2 hungry teams. You got C.J. McCollum, you got Paul George that both want to will their team scoring-wise to wherever they got to go.
Yep.
So I think it'll probably be the most interesting playing game, like genuinely. And I also think it just depends on the people around them because even if those guys are on and they have no help, it's not going to make a difference.
So I think, now that you say that, I think Paul George finally has one of those games where he doesn't go 8 for 25. I think he actually goes off like he used to.
So no more Pfizer P, no more pandemic P. We're at playoff P now.
Yeah.
Play-in P.
Indiana KCP. Yeah, I think he's got this. But I don't know. Whoever's playing against the Suns, it's over. Like,
You think so?
yeah, unless Kawhi's quiet.
Hey,
comes back.
I was just about to. Hey, if Kawhi comes back,
It's real.
that Phoenix Clippers series is
That's
a
gonna be
conference
awesome,
finals
man.
caliber series in
Yes.
the first round.
Yeah.
And we have a few of those type of series already.
Mhm.
But that would be crazy. Kawhi comes back for Phoenix. Hey.
Now, are y'all like Max Kellerman who think Kawhi's better under pressure than Kobe?
No,
Get that-
absolutely
get that
not.
out of here.
Absolutely not. But
Just making sure.
definitely one of the best pressure players
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
in the league today, arguably that the league has ever seen. We've seen him in situations, of
Two
course.
finals MVPs,
Yeah.
yeah.
He got 2
Yeah.
finals MVP. It's hard to win one.
Yeah.
Obviously, Curry still doesn't have one.
Yeah.
But, 2 finals MVPs. Now, every situation, you need a little bit of luck to fall your way to win a championship. But a guy like Kawhi, you got to give it to him. Whenever he feels that opening, he just goes for it.
I was just about
he
to
goes
say.
for blood.
Kawhi is he's that modern day guy, and I'm not like trying to compare him to the all time greats. I mean, he is really awesome.
Mhm.
His playoff caliber mentality.
Yeah.
He has that sixth gear that most other players don't have,
Right.
and across any sport really. But he's that guy that I want in my If anyone were to ever ask me franchise, like regular season lineup versus playoff lineup, I'm putting Kawhi in my playoff lineup. I don't care.
And I genuinely applaud him too, as a player, because he didn't have he played good in college and he showed some capability, but did he explode and really develop
He
his
got
game.
a lot better in the
Yeah.
NBA.
Yeah.
Because he was at
Yeah.
San Diego State, right?
Right.
Yeah. And he was solid.
Yeah, he was solid, but
But he wasn't this.
Right? No,
not at all.
No, that's what I respect about him.
Yeah, I'm going to get cheesy here.
Okay.
Old school. He kind of reminds me of Tim Duncan, just like,
Spurs guy.
as Lil Wayne says, real G's moving silent like lasagna.
Oh.
And
Okay.
he just keeps, he may be autistic, he may be quiet, but this man,
I don't think he's autistic.
who cares? Like, just because he doesn't speak
Yeah,
to the
who
media,
cares?
I
Who
don't,
cares?
Like, I try to tell people that all the time. I'm like, who cares?
That's like Marshawn Lynch. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not his thing. I appreciate the fact that he's always him.
and then it's funny though, because you'll always see him doing something that you wouldn't expect him doing, like with his family at a concert.
Nah,
or
that one time they caught him at Magic City.
Yeah, it's always
Yes.
something. It's
In
always
a
something.
New Balance hoodie in the club.
He's a fun guy.
He's a
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
guy.
What can you say? So, we have our playing predictions. So we're just gonna go right into it. We're gonna save the 1 versus 8 because those coincide with the playing predictions. So we're gonna go to the series that we have set in stone. First, we're gonna start in the East. 2-7, Boston versus the Nets. I got Boston in 7.
In 7.
Very, very narrowly. Like a play here, a play there. Like it's one of those kind of series, but Boston's just played so well in the second half of the year. And Brooklyn has had so many starts and stops with their season. I'm gonna give Boston the series just off of the process alone. Like just the fact that they got better, they developed throughout the year, built chemistry. I think the playoffs is definitely something to be said for that. So I got Boston very close in this series.
I got Brooklyn in 7.
I'm not mad at it.
I think it's a tough, gritty series, but I think the Nets are getting rolling now, and it's better late than never, especially with Kyrie being able to play home and away games. I just think it's that time, and you see it, like you see a glimpse of it when everybody plays. And Ben Simmons is a big factor. I doubt he's gonna play, but I don't think they need him to beat the Celtics. And I do think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown will have a phenomenal series and hold their own. I just think that Kyrie and KD are just 2 generational scorers that will, at the end of the day, get them in 7.
Okay.
Nets in 6.
Ooh.
I have actually.
Ooh.
They are coming into form
Exactly.
at just the right moment. And I actually didn't realize this until now. I know they have their big 3, but it's been so long since the big 3 played. Since Game 7 lost to our Hawks, Ben Simmons has played in 0 games since. That's Game 7 loss to Atlanta Hawks. They're coming into that perfect form right now. I think that they'll catch the Celtics on their heels.
I'm gonna go with
the Nets.
I'm gonna agree with Lorenzo here and say that the Celtics win in 7 games. You got Jaylen Brown. You got who I think is who Pat Bev wishes he was, Marcus Smart.
Oh my gosh.
And then you got Jason Tatum and all those. I mean, I just don't get me wrong. If the Nets played all season together, like Durant and Irving, I know the COVID thing was annoying with the New York law for Kyrie, but it's too. I get what you're saying, Wesley. I just think it's too late right now, and that's why I can just see the Celtics winning in 7.
And the reason I totally understand that take 2. The only reason I think that they can overcome that from just like a chemistry standpoint is because Kyrie and KD have a friendship in that situation. And plus, I just know that their level of play is just gonna bring up everybody around them. And like Moxon said, it's just I just see them starting to get rolling now. And it's
that's what I see.
And sometimes where you'll see a team be in the regular season, and then they come to the playoffs and they're a totally different person, almost like Eli Manning or Joe Flacco or a situation like that.
Example.
So I think in 7.
Not to mention, what happened to Andre Drummond? He was an all-star 2 years ago, and then he just fell off the map. So you never know.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting about Boston. I think that a big loss for them not having Robert Williams. I think that's going to be huge. I really like Robert Williams. I love his fit with like the defensive scheme that Ime Udoka put in for them. His ability to switch and then still be able to defend the paint and be a great rim protector, I think, was very important to their defense. So them not having him is going to hurt. I just think that Brooklyn, compared to Boston, I just think they're a little small in the backcourt. Like, I think that they have a lot of small guards. Seth, obviously, Patty Mills. Dragic obviously isn't a small guard, but he's not a great defender.
He's older now, too.
Yeah, so I don't know if they have enough defense, especially for a Boston team that they're not an amazing offensive team, but they can get hot on offense, and they're really good defensively. So I think that – and, like, they're definitely going to be bigger than the Nets.
Yeah.
So I think, having just that advantage over the course of a series is going to wear those little guys down. Then it just becomes a possession-by-possession battle.
I don't mind that.
I really like KD and Kyrie in situations like that.
That's what I'm saying.
I got 3 other people out there on the court that have to do stuff, and Boston has more of that.
I'm trusting Tatum and Brown. I'm thinking that this is a series where they show to the league that they are going to be the duo of the future in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting series regardless, especially with Kyrie returning to Boston and all the statements he said about Boston being that
kicking his foot on the
or Boston being that old girlfriend that claims that they're done with him.
I saw that the
takes
other
back.
day.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting.
That last year's series kind of came and went because Boston, they really weren't that good.
Yeah,
but this year it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of emotions in that one.
Very
I can't
much
wait.
So.
I know what your upset is now. I think I have a guess.
All right.
Staying in the East.
Because you were so low on the Suns. I think that's your upset. No?
Hey, we'll see. Hey.
Stay tuned.
Okay. All right.
Hey, don't touch that dial, folks.
Okay, all right.
But staying in the East, we got Milwaukee and Chicago. I have Bucks in 5.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue that.
I don't even have anything else to say about that. I mean, defending champs, Chicago hasn't proven that they can beat good teams this year. They have a habitual playoff choker in DeMar DeRozan.
Oh, Lord.
I got the Bucks in 5. They've been there before. They know what to do.
I think they sweep them.
4.
I think they're going to sweep them at 4.
That's what I was thinking.
I think DeRozan can do his thing, but I don't think he can will them to win.
Maybe a couple games competitive, 8, like within 8-10 points, but nah.
Bucks in 5 for me, as Lorenzo said. That's what I had.
And I'm just gonna give Levine and DeRozan credit. Like, they've had a good year. I think they could get a game, right? Like, I hope.
Yeah.
Like the Bucks, and it seems like Bucks
might turn
Bulls.
on.
It just seems like
Yeah.
Bucks Bulls playing on ESPN on a lot of these Fridays. It seems like they play more than 4 times.
Yeah.
It's like they play like 8 times,
I
like
feel like
every
I've
Friday.
seen them play
Yeah,
more than any
and
other
then,
team.
and then every time we see them play, the Bucks just bullying them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't have much faith in the Bulls. It's an unfortunate draw for them, especially with the year that they've had. But yeah, I just can't see them doing much. Now, this is my little mini upset pick here: Sixers Raptors. I got Raptors in 6. I got Raptors in 6, and I did. You know, if you remember a few months ago, I had Philly going to the finals.
Yes.
So this is a
Yes.
painful thing for me. You know, I got Raptors in 6. Toronto, now, they don't have an answer for Joel Embiid. It's not a lot of teams that do. They don't just have a big man that they could just sick on Joel Embiid and just say stop him. But Nick Nurse, Toronto's coach, is one of the
Great
most
coach.
innovative defensive
Lakers
minds in the NBA. So he's going to have a game plan to try to get the ball out of Embiid's hands. Embiid's still going to get his, but I'm not really worried about Embiid for Philly. That game plan that he'll have for him, he'll also have a game plan for James Harden. And Toronto has a lot of 6'7" to 6'9" wings, long, athletic. They're going to make life very tough for James Harden. And the way Harden's been looking lately, I don't know if he's up to the challenge of scoring on Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, and Scotty Barnes and Pascal Siakam every other possession. I don't know if he could just look those guys in the eyes and get buckets on them like he used to.
Everyone in Philadelphia is genuinely worried about James Harden.
And as they should be. And this is the toughest matchup that could have been for them.
That's a good point.
A team with so
It probably
many
is.
perimeter defenders
Yeah.
to throw on their their second best
best
player.
scorer.
Yeah.
Best playmaker, too.
Yeah.
So,
No doubt.
yeah, that's my mini upset pick. I got Toronto in 6.
I can see it.
Wilson.
I can see that upset.
You can see that.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I've always been a James Harden fan,
That's tough.
and I know it's tough, but I did the same thing with like the Celtics and the Nets. Like they're just more of a complete team. They got Maxey. They do have Maxey. I get that, and they have Tobias Harris. But have you been watching what the Raptors have been doing lately?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying they're playing as like kind of like the old Hawks when they had Millsap and Teague and all of them. Like,
very, very team oriented.
that's what I'm saying.
No, like one superstar
Yeah.
to look up
Yeah.
to.
That's what So I'm gonna say I got. This is like a coin flip. I got Toronto and I'm gonna say 6 games.
Yeah, I would say this isn't quite as exciting as the Nets Celtics series to me. Not quite as exciting, not on paper at least.
Right.
But this was probably the hardest one for me to pick. My most confident prediction of the day for NBA will be this will be a 7-game series. I think it will be 7 games either way. I'm going to give Philadelphia the edge here just because of Joel getting the door slammed in his face one too many times. I think he is going – I think he's determined. I think I will totally agree with you on the James Harden problems. If he doesn't get going, they won't go past this round, I don't think. And I don't see Philadelphia going past this round anyway. But I think they have Joel will do just enough to get them through Game 7. But we'll see.
We'll see.
Go ahead.
Go
I
ahead.
just was gonna say I just see Joel Embiid getting that MVP trophy at home.
So to do that, it means they got to get to the second round.
Yeah.
So that's what you're saying.
I don't know. I'm saying I can see that upset. I'm saying I don't know whether I'm saying at home.
Or at home, like
no, I'm
the
talking
crib.
like the crib. Like he's
okay. I'm like, wait.
I'm saying he
Like
is
the Zoom call
At
MVP
home.
Zoom call
presentation.
MVP. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
No.
Got it.
You know, so I know I said that was my, mini upset, but as we snake our way back to the 1-8, Miami, and I'm predicting Atlanta's going to beat Cleveland. I have the Atlanta Hawks beating the Miami Heat in 6 games. Yes. And I really like Miami. Maybe I'm a little bit biased here. Maybe I'm a lot of bit biased here. Yes, I'm a Hawks fan. All right, just throwing it out there. Yes. But let me tell you why the Hawks are going to beat the Heat, right?
Let's hear it, Rosa.
Trae Young is a tough matchup for anybody in the league.
Absolutely.
Even the best defenders. Having to go through a million screens, having to keep him in front of you. He's so quick. You know, he has a really tight handle. He's a very difficult player to defend. Now, I know Miami can switch everything. I know they got a really good defensive lineup. Jimmy Butler, P.J. Tucker, Bam. Kyle Lowry. I know they got some guys, but Trae Young has the ability to take over any series.
Mm-hmm.
If John Collins comes back, that's going to be a real big X factor because John Collins coming on a short roll. Bam's already contending with Capella. John Collins he's too big for P.J. Tucker. He's too big for Jimmy Butler coming down into the paint. One dribble, bang, go up.
Love to see him against Jimmy.
Yeah, I believe in John Collins. I think he'll be really good. But the real X factor for Atlanta is going to be DeAndre Hunter on both ends of the floor. If DeAndre Hunter's playing well, because he's going to probably get that Jimmy Butler assignment. If he can slow down Jimmy and then score on the other end, which is what I'm predicting will happen, the Hawks are going to win this series in 6.
I got a bold take off of that, Renzo. I think the Hawks win, and the Heat get rid of Jimmy Butler.
Oh.
I can see that.
Whoa.
Like that actually, I mean, it's a hot take, but not that hot.
And it goes to the Lakers.
After that situation that happened earlier in the season,
that
meltdown.
Him and Spogan ready to fight.
And I just don't think – I know that all professional athletes always claim that it's always outside narratives.
Yeah.
It's not like that inside the locker room. And it's not really like that
the
inside
media.
the organization. I don't think that's the case. And I think it would be a genuine exposure when they have to face the Hawks. And they will really – from up top, they will have to reassess – that roster, and I think they're gonna say Jimmy needs to go because it just keeps being the way of the land. It's a playoff team, and they could do something, and they're in the bubble. Oh snap, they got LeBron in.
They made the finals.
This might be. I just think it's run its course.
Evan.
I got my Hawks in 6. A little bit is bias.
I feel you.
But at the same time, if you look at the Heat, every player that's been on there, we were talking about DeMar DeRozan choking. They've all choked. They've all choked. And I think the only player I'd be worried about, we need Collins back, but the only player I'm worried about is probably Hunter. Definitely needs to be an X factor. He's got to do his thing. He can't get 10 points and 1 rebound and then get hurt next game.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about Bam. That's the only player I'm like, But at the same time, Clint Capella can definitely play some defense and get some rebounds. So got the Hawks in 6, and the Hawks are way better than a 9 seed. Absolutely sleepy that they're a 9 seed. Should be like a 5 seed in my opinion.
Really?
Hawks have had a strong push in these past few weeks. I don't want to jinx this, man. I don't want to jinx this, so I don't know if I want to predict it. I think we'll win.
So we have a clean sweep of a 1-8 upset.
This
has got to be a record.
Yeah.
It reminds me of college basketball when you see a team that's a lower seed,
St. Peter's,
but you know that they're not playing like a lower seed.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it.
Yeah.
And that's what I see from the Hawks.
That's the Hawks for sure.
Because, I mean, Atlanta earlier in the year, they had injuries. They had a lot of COVID absences.
Yeah.
So that kind of skewed their record a little bit. There was a time where they were like 8 or 9 games under 500.
Yeah.
Like, they were really going through it. And they played with, 10 replacement players on Christmas Day against the Knicks. So they're not really what their record says they are.
Correct.
So they are a really good team.
Yep.
So that Miami-Atlanta series is more like a
4 or 5.
second round kind of series than a
6 and
than a
3,
first
4 or
round kind of
5.
series.
Yeah, for
But,
sure.
Hey, it'll be interesting. So now shifting gears to the West, like we just did, we're gonna snake our way back to 1-8. So we're gonna start at 2-7. Memphis, Minnesota. Now I know that. First of all, I'm just gonna jump out and say I got Memphis winning in 6, but I think it'll be a fun series to watch because I think Minnesota's a very fun team. They like to get up and down. They got those young legs. You know they're going to play hard. Memphis is kind of the same way, kind of similar, very young, very talented. A lot of guys, their first real situation. Well, Memphis was in the playoffs last year, so it's their second, but still relatively new to the stage.
They're young.
Yeah, I just think Memphis is just a little bit deeper when it comes to talent, just
Memphis
overall.
is really deep, actually.
Yeah, I just think they're just a little bit deeper, and I like their coaching just a little bit more. So I got them beating Minnesota in 6. It'll be a really good series though, a better series than some people are expecting. But
Definitely.
I got Memphis winning that in 6.
I think it's it's going to be a very entertaining series with the young guys leading the helm for both sides. And I think I got Memphis, not even trying to be biased because I'm from Memphis, but I got Memphis. And then also, and just like you said repeatedly about playoff basketball, Lorenzo, it slows down. And the beautiful thing for the Grizzlies in this situation, you have a team like the T-Wolves that are probably not going to slow it down. So you're going to get to play at the pace you want.
Yeah.
And it's just going to I just got the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies are that team that I see in a few years being truly elite, truly elite.
I just hope they don't break it up. Because
Yeah.
I've seen that happen as a Grizzlies fan so much.
Yeah. Y'all get to a point where you're like, oh yeah, we're almost here, and
Yeah,
then
they
you
just
break
break
up.
up the team.
Many times it's
Rudy
happened.
Gay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Still heard about that one.
I've definitely got Memphis in this. The way Anthony Towns was playing, I mean, if he keeps that up, there's no way.
And he's gonna have Jaren Jackson Jr. and Steven Adams on him in this series.
I think people forget Steven Adams is on.
Yeah.
Hey,
Steven Adams is one of my all-time favorite
We
players.
got
Love
Aquaman.
Steven Adams. Yes.
No disrespect to Minnesota. They're really good, but they're not Memphis. All these other games, they're going to be close that we've talked about so far. But I feel like this is going to be a 4-1 series, Memphis. I stay on my Grizzlies. I think Memphis is going to win.
Hey, so I'm giving Minnesota just a little bit more respect just because of the year that they've had and them jumping on tables in the play-in. They can't go out like that. So I'm thinking I'm just thinking that'll get them 2 wins just off of that. 3-6, Golden State, Denver. If you would have asked me this a few hours before we started recording, I would have given you a much better answer, in terms of this being a much better series. But, we just got word that Stephen Curry, if not playing in Game 1, he'll be back in Game 2. So, Curry's back. He'll be healthy. He's been out, for a little bit. So, he's coming back. Golden State, very well-built team from top to bottom, very deep, kind of reminiscent of those early teams, pre-KD, where they had their 3 guys, but then they had
solid
depth around them.
Yeah.
I think Golden State gonna win this in 5 or 6. I could see. I think Jokic is good enough, especially with him being a big center and a type of player that Golden State would have some trouble with. Him being so good and so dominant, I think Jokic could take a game or 2, but I got Golden State taking this one ultimately, and I don't think they'll have too much trouble. It'll just be Jokic, but Jokic won't be able to carry them to the win.
I got Golden State too. I got Stephen Curry getting his sea legs after having an up and down year in playoff basketball. And then I forgot to say this about the last prediction that we all made in regards to the Grizzlies. I got Ja Morant dunking on Pat Bev.
I'd pay to see that.
I just wanted to put that one out
That'd be
there.
awesome.
But I do have Stephen Curry getting his sea legs, and then the Warriors just starting to look like that juggernaut that they are again and pushing through.
Yeah, the Warriors are. It's crazy to me because of the way they've quickly rebuilt right back up to where they were. It's really, really honestly impressive. As much as I want to see my Denver Nuggets win,
I'm so sorry, man.
I know just having the Joker is not going to be enough. I have to agree. The Warriors are really, really solidly built. It is reminiscent, truly, of the pre-KD days, where they still were obviously capable of winning championships. So I've got them winning. I have to say 7 in this, just because I'm a Nuggets fan. I'm going to say them winning at 7, just because I think I see Joker really making a push, but I don't see it.
I got Warriors in 5. I can't stand the Warriors, but I mean, LeBron James is the best player in my opinion, and they took 2 of his rings away. So,
Okay.
They're definitely going to win in 5.
It's a different team, though. That's a different team that took his rings.
Nah.
They had Kevin Durant.
It's very similar though. You got.
It is a similar.
Don't laugh at me when I say this, Renzo. You got Andre Iguodala.
I'm not gonna laugh. I'm not gonna laugh.
You
got
Klay
Thompson.
You could have left
You got
Iguodala
Steph.
out,
You
bro.
got Clay. You got Steph. You got Draymond.
Don't even say Iguodala's
I'm just
name.
saying that is. You can't tell me that those 4 guys have not been there.
Oh my God, he's cooked.
He is cooked.
He is washed.
But I bet you he's surprising people.
Evan,
I'll flip him over. He's well
wheelchair.
done.
I bet you he's surprising people in the playoffs.
If I flip him on his back, he's well done.
All I'm saying is I bet you he can attribute and contribute to this team in the playoffs. Is all I'm saying.
I mean, he's a really good guy.
I love Andre.
He's a good leader. Yeah. I mean, he probably got handshakes with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna get some PT.
I mean, yeah, he'll get some PT, but like,
It's like having another coach.
yeah, it's like he's like
It
Udonis
is.
Haslem now
No,
for them.
except Udonis Haslem don't touch the floor. Except
What's Iggy?
or be anything but
Iggy ain't gonna
Spoelstra's
be
bodyguard.
doing much, man.
He'll get a little something.
Now, I will say, you know, Golden State, they've kind of been similar, not really similar because they've been way more consistent. But when we talk about a team like Atlanta or a team like Brooklyn, kind of like start and stops, having some guys in and out of the lineup.
Yeah.
Draymond missed a huge chunk of the season, in the middle of the season. Clay was out from the beginning until around the January, February mark, and then Steph missing time towards the end. Will their chemistry be where it needs to be? That's a huge question. But I think they have enough to get past Denver. I'm gonna give it 6. I'm gonna give it 6 because Jokic is too good and he's too tough of a matchup for a team like Golden State with them wanting to play small so much. That I just think Jokic will do his thing. But I don't think he just has enough around him, really.
He doesn't.
Especially without Jamal Murray and MPJ.
Yep.
That's all she wrote. They're not going to win.
Now, if one of them comes back, it's a series.
Be a miracle, though.
Don't see him
And if
winning.
both of them come back,
I still don't see him winning.
if both
If
of them
both
come
came back, you still didn't see him beating.
it depends
Golden State
on at what point in the series it is. Like, if Jokic takes 2 early
by himself.
and it's 2-2,
Yeah.
and by some miracle they get back, hey, that's a different team that Golden State got a game plan
Then I would
for.
see playoff Clay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't have any.
Because I genuinely think like this series is like I said. I think it's gonna be Steph getting his sea legs back, getting back, and underneath a rhythm. And Clay is just gonna be the main focus of this series. Clay is gonna be the scorer. He's gonna be the guy.
Come back, yeah.
Yeah, until Steph fully gets his. And it doesn't take much for Steph. We know that. Yeah, we know that. It doesn't take much.
Steffordless.
Literally.
So, 4-5, 4 seed Dallas Mavericks, 5 seed Utah Jazz. Obviously, Luka Doncic with his calf strain, more than likely going to miss the first 2 games of this series.
It's a bummer.
They are in Dallas, and that calf strain. We saw Kevin Durant deal with a calf strain a few years ago, and he had to miss nearly a month with it. I remember they talked about his Achilles injury before he tore it. Like during that playoff run, it was a calf strain at first. So these injuries are kind of tricky. You don't want them to come back too fast, but at the same time, you want to try to win. So I think with all that going on, I think this is a series where Utah is going to trick the world into believing that they're a good playoff team, and they're probably going to win it in 5 games. Just because Luka means so much to Dallas that if he's not on and he's not healthy, then I can't really see them. I can't see a path to them beating a team that's as solid as Utah and as well coached. Obviously, they have their issues, and I don't think they're worth much. But I think just the circumstances, they caught a really good draw in Dallas with Luka being down. I think they win this in 5.
Nice. I got a bold prediction for this series.
I
got, like you said, if Luka misses 2 games, I think Utah can win this series. I do think they can, but I would genuinely not be surprised if they did something goofy like go up 2-0
and blow
like
the series.
That would be Utah.
And blow that series after Luka comes back.
That would be Utah.
See that happening.
That would be a very Utah thing to do. And this isn't directed towards Donovan Mitchell, friend of the show. Please come on the show.
I'm sorry.
This isn't directed towards you, bro.
Me too.
But that team, man, it's just do they go brain dead? Like I don't know, but Dallas is dealing with so much without having their best player. I got Dallas going down at 5 games.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Donovan Mitchell's gonna go down. I can't let him do that. He's one of my favorite players in the NBA, and also with Luka out for 2 games, I think it could be a 5 to 6 game series. Mitchell's gonna average about 35. I think he's gonna go off.
35.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go off. Dame Lillard.
One of the premier playoff risers in our generation, Donovan Mitchell. He gets better in the playoffs every year.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely plays very well up to his potential.
Now he needs Mike Conley to step up.
Oh, that's not gonna happen. But I
that man has been MIA since he got that money from Memphis. Highway robbery and just
forgot about
it's
that.
Dallas though. So and Dallas without Luka being 100%.
Yeah.
It's like Trae Young and the Hawks if Trae Young's gone.
Yeah.
Well, I would actually disagree with that because I feel like the Hawks are a little bit more, I would say they're a little bit less centered around that.
Yeah, I agree.
Just a little bit.
I
Like
agree.
Luka is everything to Dallas.
Atlanta's a tad less
Yes.
heliocentric.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Huerter can go in there and he could put up his 20 or whatever,
Yeah.
and then DeAndre Hunter have a good game.
Yeah.
But we don't have
John
John Collins
Collins.
yet.
Right.
When
Oh,
he
yeah.
comes back, then sure. But
Yeah. Okay.
He's
I
not
see what
there.
you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I couldn't have said it better myself than you two, though. I think with Luka being out, yes, Utah. I know what Utah's done in the past. We know what they're capable of doing, or should I say, not doing. But I see them winning in. I'll say 6.
Okay. 6 is the respectful one.
I need to still be respectful of Dallas.
I'm very disrespectful. Without Luka, I just can't see it. Especially, I think if Luka doesn't play those first 2 games, they go down 0-2.
Yeah. Sure.
And then they go back to Utah. They may be able
To take
I
one.
think maybe 1-1 at home, and then Utah will probably win both in Utah.
Yeah.
And then it just depends on if Dallas is going to lay down in Game 5. If
Or
they
make a push.
get down a little bit, Utah is just going to put their foot on their neck.
Yeah.
Now Utah is prone to blow a lead,
Mhm.
so that's always an option. But yeah, they shouldn't lose this series, right? Like
I hope not.
they
They
should
shouldn't.
win.
But we've said that before about Utah.
Yeah.
They shouldn't
Hey,
lose.
Up 2-0 against the Clippers, and then tied 2-2.
Yep.
Kawhi goes down at home.
Still lose.
You shouldn't lose that series, right?
Mm-mm.
Up 3-1 in the bubble against the Denver Nuggets. You shouldn't lose that series,
They made
right?
Jamal Murray look like LeBron, like he went off.
Hey, but him and Donovan Mitchell were going back and
Yeah,
forth.
I remember that.
But it just,
I remember
man,
that.
like, Utah. Oh, man. Definitely a very unenthusiastic, unanimous Utah selection here
Correct.
on RU
Yes.
Sports Speaks. So, circling our way back to the 1-8 matchup, where we all predicted the Clippers winning the play-in game, right?
I had the
Yeah.
Clippers.
So we have Phoenix versus the Clippers, and I have 2 separate predictions for this. All right,
Okay.
I got to go 2 separate ones.
All right.
Just to qualify. If Kawhi does not play a game in this series, then I think the Suns are going to win in 5 games.
Okay.
I think they should have won in 5 games last year. I think that they made the Clippers played out of their minds in that Game 5 in the conference finals a season ago, down 3-1, going into Phoenix. Paul George stepped up and played really well. And Phoenix was kind of, taken out of their rhythm when Chris Paul went out for the COVID situation during that series. He missed the first 2 games and came back. Phoenix wasn't really like the same team in that series. When he first came back, those first few games, he was trying to get back in the rhythm. I don't think Phoenix will have those problems. If this is the Clippers team that they're going to play, I don't think they'll have those issues. So I think they'll just close them out in 5. If Kawhi comes back, I have Phoenix in 7.
Okay.
I got Phoenix in 7.
Okay.
Obviously, Kawhi, another one of the guys, one of the premier playoff risers. in our generation. He steps
Sure.
up big in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing is, I'm not worried about Kawhi if he's playing. I'm just worried about where everyone else falls in line. Because Paul George has been a 1 this season. He has to step back now into a secondary role where he isn't as efficient as a secondary guy, which is weird, right? Like he gets less shots, but he's less efficient. I don't understand it. Guys like Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson got to take a step back because they've kind of been sharing like number 2 duties.
Correct.
But I think that they'll figure it out in a series and they'll make it really fun and really entertaining. But Phoenix, like I said about that Boston and Brooklyn series, just the process, just getting better as the season goes, having your team set and, you know, working and molding with your guys and your rotations. I just think Phoenix wins that series. Either way.
Wesley?
I agree. I do agree. In that situation, I agree.
Yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda. I got Phoenix 4-1, but Phoenix, it's not going anywhere. That 1 seed doesn't mean anything.
Wow.
Really?
I'm going to be that kid. I'm sorry. I can't stand Devin. Something about Devin Booker bothers me.
Whoa.
I don't know what it is, but something.
Whoa.
So let's sit into the chair. Before you give your prediction, Mox, let's sit into Dr. Robinson's therapy chair just for a quick second. What is it about Devin Booker that you don't like?
I kind of feel bad because it's not him. It's people saying, "Oh, he shoots like Kobe. Oh, he plays like Kobe." Stop comparing this man to Kobe because he's not Kobe. And
Big Kobe fan you are?
And the fact that Paul George led them, like, that was probably the worst conference finals I've ever seen in my life. And Paul George went like 9 for 27, and they still almost won that series. So I mean, no. The Suns remind me of, I love my Hawks. The Hawks are different now. They have a superstar finally. Please keep him. But they just remind me of when the Hawks had like Paul Millsap, like a bunch of good players. I know they have Chris Paul. Don't get it twisted.
Chris Paul and Devin Booker, superstars?
I mean, Ayton, but I mean, nah. I just pass the sec. Nah, I just don't.
It's just nah.
No.
Maybe they make it to the Western Conference Finals because it's Utah.
And they still gonna get papped if they make it.
Moxon.
Yeah, I'm not on the Suns bandwagon like most people are, but I also am not dumb. I think they're a better team than the Clippers right now. Right now, they're a better team than the Clippers. Kawhi comes back, it's a different story. Again, I'm not going to say whether they win or lose. There's definitely going to be more games played if Kawhi comes back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got the Suns. They're definitely not my pick to win the finals. They're not.
No.
But they certainly are capable of going deep. I mean, we've seen what they can do, but no, I'm not like an irrational Devin Booker hater like someone in this room.
I'm still reminiscing.
Oh, wow.
Feeling like they folded last year.
Man, up 2-0.
Yeah,
I still feel like they folded last year.
Up 2-0.
yeah.
Hey.
But I totally.
What LeBron tweet?
Hey, 2 down, 2 to go. Oh, God. We still 2 down, 2 to go.
No, see, I see what you're saying though, Evan. I was messing with you with the irrational Devin Booker hate, but
No, I'm not.
I totally see. I totally see. Like, people may be overhyping him just a tad.
Well,
Then you got the commercials with
Yeah.
like that.
Hey.
Like, don't get it twisted. He is one of the best players. But when I hear
Yes.
Stephen A. Smith talking about how he should be MVP, I look back to a couple of years ago, and I'm like, they said this. What about LeBron? You know, LeBron had the best record in the league. Why didn't he get MVP?
Yeah.
Because it's LeBron.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to give it to a new player. That stuff bothers me.
I'm with you. We'll bleep it out.
We'll bleep
I'm with you though. Yeah, just when Moxon said he's not on the Phoenix bandwagon like some people he was talking about was me. I am on the Phoenix bandwagon.
Got it.
Not the bandwagon, but I just really love their team, man. I love the way that they're built, the way that they did it. Very smart draft picks and savvy free agent moves, and that trade for Chris Paul. I like Phoenix, man. But we're just gonna keep it at the first round for now. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all we got. You know, and we're gonna check back, see if we're right, and we're gonna go from there. Hopefully the Atlanta Hawks will still be playing. If not, we may not do another episode of this.
We'll all be too sad.
There may be no more me.
Besides Wesley.
No, I was gonna say not everybody.
Wesley doesn't care.
But yeah, this will be a very dejected RU Sports Speaks panel. So switching gears a little bit, we're gonna talk about something that we haven't talked about really at all on this podcast. We're talking about Major League Baseball. So, you know, the opening week just passed. I had a few of my friends go to the Braves-Reds game. They were giving me updates throughout the night of them bringing a trophy out, and everybody was hype. And, you know, if you ever been to they used to do it at Turner Field. Now it's at Truist, where they had, like, the flags of the pennants, and then they unveiled the championship flag. Crowd went crazy. And then the Braves promptly got tapped by the Cincinnati Reds. But, you know, it's just game one. You know, I just had to throw that in there for all the Braves fans that are listening to this, just to keep you guys humbled a little bit.
Yeah, we just won, so it's all good.
But, you know, how are we seeing this season shake out, you know, AL, NL? Like, what are we looking at?
I just want to go off what you said, and then y'all can go first. I just want to remind Braves fans that there's been no MLB championship repeat since 2000.
Yeah.
I just wanted to put that out
Yeah.
there.
Hey, I don't have us winning it this
Y'all can
year.
go ahead. Y'all can go ahead.
I don't.
And we're going to go to our resident Atlanta Braves correspondent.
I've got a guy that knows just as much as me next to me, for sure. But yeah, so you're asking how the season will shake out.
Yes.
I mean, in terms of playoffs, big team right now that I have is the Blue Jays. I'm really high on the Blue Jays right now. They're built really, really, really well, top to bottom.
Know.
Sorry, Yankees fans.
I know.
I don't see the Yankees doing much of anything this year, playoff-wise. And I'm sorry, Lorenzo, but the Yankees sat on their couch and did nothing this offseason.
That is true.
To make any meaningful trades whatsoever. They got rid of Luke Voigt, got him over to the Padres, and they made a few minor transactions, getting JD on their team and whatnot. But they didn't grab a Carlos Correa, they didn't grab a Matt Olson, they didn't grab anyone else big.
Seager was another.
Yeah, Seager, Marcus Semien. They didn't make any huge moves like I thought they would. Like I would have bet my house they would have made some blockbuster move. I really thought they were going to take Correa, but they didn't. I think that all four of the teams, you know, or all the teams in the AL East minus the Orioles, are legitimate playoff teams this year. Legitimate. The Red Sox lineup is absolutely disgusting. The Yankees are still the Yankees. I mean, they're still the Yankees. The Rays, everyone always says they're going to win 80 games, and then they end up winning 100 because they have the best organization in baseball, in my opinion. And then you have the Blue Jays, who are, you know, now everyone's picked to win it all. I'm saying that hyperbolically, but in terms of the Braves, I'm a huge Braves fan. Not loving what I'm seeing out of the Braves playing in their first 7 games. Evan's shaking his head yes. It's either we have solid pitching or we have solid hitting, but not both in our first 7 games. We've been forced to kind of dig down into our barrel, our farm system a little bit, but a lot of teams have because of the shortened spring training. But I'll give you my full playoff predictions later. Evan, what do you got to say?
So I actually think you're a little sleepy on the Yankees.
Okay.
I think the Yankees are going to actually make it to the MLB or the World Series. I think that they give that contract to Aaron Judge finally.
Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm. They will.
Here's my conjunction. However, if you remember, besides that one home run that Freddie Freeman hit, the Braves did it without him or Acuna.
Mm-hmm.
They won it as a core.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to go against the Dodgers again, and we're going to boo the crap out of Freeman.
But do you think y'all win that series?
I do. I don't think I don't have a prediction yet for the World Series. But I could totally see the Braves playing the Yankees like in the 90s, but the Braves lost that time. But I think we could play them in the World Series.
That would be
awesome.
My greatest I'll be very happy, and it'll also be my greatest nightmare because I'm around so many Braves fans on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, the Dodgers, their lineup is crazy.
It is insane.
I don't think, but I mean, just adding Freddie Freeman to what they have, they already got Trey Turner, they got Mookie Betts, they got Muncy, they got Justin Turner. You know, if Cody Bellinger can figure out how to play baseball again, they'll be pretty good.
Cody Bellinger has been quite literally possibly the worst hitter in baseball the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Out of anyone.
What happened to him?
Don't know.
I was just talking about Andre Drummond earlier. What happened to Cody Bellinger?
I don't know. Elite defender still. Elite defender. Just like Christian Yelich. Christian Yelich falling off the map too. Him and Cody Bellinger. They were fighting for the MVP 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And now
crazy.
they're just not doing well. Hitting-wise at the plate. They're totally fine out in the outfield. But
It's still too early, but for right now, I got to stick with the Braves because that core, a bunch of good players. It doesn't have to be great players.
Yeah.
I want to tell that to the Falcons, not to get off subject. It doesn't have to be a Matt Ryan and Julio Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Get a bunch of good players.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm going to stick with the Yankees and Braves for now. That obviously will change in like a week. But
yeah, I have the Braves returning to the World Series this year for
Braves
sure.
fan.
I do.
Fan.
Even though I didn't have them last year going to the World Series, I do have them this year getting beaten in 7 games by Toronto.
oh, that hurts.
Which, I won't have a problem with. Win one, get there. I wouldn't have a problem being the 2010, 2012, 2014 Giants.
Hey,
get
there 3 times.
We could do it.
Win twice.
We could do it.
But I got a very bold prediction. When it comes to baseball.
Oh no.
We know how good the NL West is, and we hear everybody talk about the Dodgers. Hear everybody talk about the Giants. But
No, don't do it.
Milwaukee Brewers?
No.
They're NL Central.
What about the Padres, man?
I said don't do it.
Hey, I'm sad that the Yankees gave up Luke Voit, but where'd he go? He went to the waiting hands of the San Diego Padres. The Padres, of course, this is all hinged on Tatis coming back healthy from his surgery.
Yes.
If he comes back healthy, one of the top 5 players in baseball, I would say.
Top 10.
Hey man,
I'd say he's top 5.
They got Cronenworth. You know what I'm saying?
Elite second baseman for sure.
They got Eric Hosmer. You know what I mean? Still really good.
Still good.
What he was before.
Solid veteran. Solid veteran.
They still got Manny Machado.
Machado's top 20 player in my opinion.
Hey, that's a solid team. Now, if Blake Snell can kind of get back to the stuff, that he was doing when he was in Tampa Bay, then obviously their ceiling goes up tremendously. I don't really see him, getting back to that point, but I still think they're going to be really good. An NLCS caliber team, in my opinion.
Well,
NLCS caliber.
I'll replace the C with a D, and
yeah,
it'll be a good NLDS. Game. It'll be good to watch them play. It'll be fun and see them lose to the Braves. But I do agree with you. I do agree with you though that their shortstop is a top 5 player.
Yes.
People forget that the Padres went 79 and 83 last year. They were the most disappointing team in the league last year. Everyone had them going deep in the playoffs, and they didn't even make them.
New Year.
You got to remember that. Now, baseball is a very, very, very hard to predict sport.
Very much.
Extremely hard to predict. And it often happens that the hottest team is usually the team that goes deep in the playoffs. We saw that happen with 2019 Washington, where they were 19 and 31 at one point. So I'm not saying that it can't happen.
And then the following year, the Braves.
And then the Braves didn't go over 500 until August. Yeah. But, yeah, the Padres are a solid team, Lorenzo. I'm not going to deny that. They absolutely have the ability to get into the playoffs. I don't know about NLCS yet. I don't know.
Hey, we call them bold for a reason.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Well, Wesley, what we thinking?
I've been over here brewing some stuff up, man. You're not gonna like. You're not gonna like everything, Rizzo. I got as a 1 seed, NL. I almost say NLE. Oh, that's bad. Dodgers.
Okay.
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Craziest lineup we've seen.
Amazing.
Wild card prediction, NL.
Okay.
Braves and the Phillies.
Phillies.
Okay. I can see that.
Okay.
So you think Mets will end up beating us out in the NL East? Okay.
Also, I think a sleeper is the Cardinals. I know you don't want to hear it, Moxon.
Hey.
I know you don't want to hear it.
St. Louis is looking really solid. Hey, Pujols hit a home run the other day. He's only he's like 20 away from 700. Hey.
No, I love Albert.
That's like the only.
He's the only
Cardinal.
thing related to that team I won't name that I like.
And then for the AL, Astros, number 1 seed.
Okay. All right.
And I genuinely think the Blue Jays are going to have the MVP.
Vlad?
Yeah.
All right.
Agree with that.
Then
Totally fine with that.
Rizzo's not going to like this one. Wild card prediction. Sox and the Yankees.
Yes.
We got to play the spread size again.
I think
Is
so.
that what you're saying?
So
That'd be cool.
So who's
It
winning
wouldn't be
AL
cool.
Central?
I'm not looking
AL
forward to
Central.
that one.
If Sox aren't winning AL Central, who you got AL Central? Twins, Tigers?
Well, you can definitely not say the Tigers, right? Because they're cooked.
Nah. I'm gonna say Tigers.
Who you got?
So right now for my winners, I got NL East. Everyone says the Mets will beat out the Braves every year in the NL East, and then the Braves end up winning it. And I'm not gonna say it again this year. I have the Braves winning the NL East. Probably win around 90 games. Mets will probably win around 90 games as well. So it's a toss-up there. Both of those teams are getting the playoffs, though.
Sure.
I don't mind that Phillies pick. That Phillies lineup is really good.
Yeah.
They're really good. Nick Castellanos, Bryce Harper, and all those other guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good lineup. But, yeah, I have Braves winning NL East. NL Central, the Brewers will win. The Brewers will win the NL Central. They have probably overall the best pitching in baseball. They don't
them
have
over the Cardinals.
Absolutely. For sure. Yep. Just like last year. The Cardinals have the best defensive team in baseball. There's no doubt about that. They have the best defense.
Our special guest didn't really like that one.
But we have
Can't stand them.
we have career 98 OPS plus, meaning below league average hitter Yadier Molina behind the plate. Although most people say he's a Hall of Famer, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, wow. You're the first person to ever heard say that.
Yeah.
Don't let him hear you say that.
No. He can't hit. Yeah, no. I don't know. I don't know past that, but I know the Brewers are winning the Central and Dodgers for sure in the West. For the AL West, I have my boldest prediction. I think the Mariners will win the AL West.
I like it. I think the Mariners are a really good team.
Yeah. Astros, certainly wild card. There's no way they're missing the playoffs. AL Central, the Sox definitely winning the AL Central.
Yes.
They are just built. They have an amazing lineup with Moncada,
Anderson.
Yeah, Tim Anderson. Who's their catcher? I'm missing
Braves,
their catcher.
I was thinking of.
Yeah, not Yadier Molina. Who am I thinking of?
The White Sox catcher.
Their catcher. He's
McGuire.
amazing. Great catcher, great defensive and offensive catcher. And I've got
Mercedes.
Yeah, Luis Robert or Luis Robert, however you say his name. They're stacked, I think. And then in the AL East, I think there's a world where they could win. We have the Blue Jays winning, and then the other three teams are the three wild card teams. Like, there's a world where that could happen because they're all playoff caliber teams. But I see the Astros getting one wild card, and then the two other teams in the AL East getting a wild card spot as well.
So I'm going to start with the AL East, and I'm going to start with my most biased pick. So I'm going to go AL East first.
Okay.
The Yankees are going to win the division. I don't have anything to back that up. Recent history says we won't. The way we start the season says we won't. The Blue Jays are hot. Vladimir Guerrero just punked the New York Yankees on national television last night.
He did.
With 3 homers. They're a really good team, but yeah, you'll never see me go against my team, so I guess I got the Yankees.
I don't think the Yankees are going to win the division, but I think they're going to win in the wild card and get in the hot run.
Hey, I hope so.
Possible.
I hope so. Hey, don't ever sleep on the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? 27 of them. You can't ever sleep.
They pay everyone like the Dodgers.
So the Central, I'm going to go with the White Sox. I love Tim Anderson. He's one of my favorite players.
Love Tim.
Jose Abreu's still pretty solid. You know, he's not what he was when he burst onto the scene, but definitely a solid guy. Jimenez is a really good player
Eloy,
as well.
Great player.
So, you know, we already touched on it. They have a really good lineup. Really deep, too. AL West, it pains me, but I got to go with the Stros. You know, they're still very talented from top to bottom.
Their lineup's ridiculous.
Great lineup. They still have good pitching.
They got their buckets to bang on. So, yeah.
They're going to figure it out. You know, they're going to put a buzzer inside their jersey. You know what I'm saying? Altuve going to know what pitches come in, you know, whatever. So I got the Stros winning that division. Moving over to the NL East, I think the Braves are going to ride a little bit of that championship momentum and win that division. You know, obviously not having Freddie Freeman is something, but I think replacing him with Matt Olson is a lateral move at worst and potentially a better move with a better player, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Still early, but yeah.
Yeah, so I think the Braves are going to win that division. I really do like the Mets. I mean, I don't like the Mets.
Right.
But
I know you don't like the Mets.
That sounds like right.
I don't like the Mets, but I do think they're going to be a really good team. I think Francisco Lindor is going to have a much better year this year than he had a year before.
He better.
Pitching's
Those fans in Flushing are going to start rioting if he doesn't start hitting.
He's going to be burning his jersey outside the stadium. But, I mean, Pete Alonso, Robinson Cano's still solid. He's older, but he's still solid. I like the Mets. I think they're going to be good. Obviously, their rotation is nasty now, especially when you get a guy like Scherzer.
I was about to say.
DeGrom got to get back healthy, but, you know, assuming he will,
Yep.
they're definitely going to be a playoff team. So it's going to be Mets, Braves battling back and forth. I don't believe in the Phillies like that.
Okay.
You know, even though, I mean, their lineup is insane. You know,
It's really, really good.
It is.
just, you know, Schwarber, Real Muto, Harper, Castellanos.
It's good. Got a lot of power. Got a lot of RBIs in that four.
And former Yankee Didi Gregorius.
Most overpaid player, in my opinion.
Oh,
Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper.
MVP?
More overpaid than Lindor. Lindor got over $300 million to stake it up.
I'm not going to bring it up yet because it's the next topic, but I got another player that I feel bad for that actually deserves to play on a winning team was considered to be the next Mickey Mantle if he can stay healthy.
Nah, he's more like Ted Williams if you're talking about who I'm thinking of. That one?
No.
Oh, okay.
You know, that was
Same
just a
team
little teaser, you know what I'm saying? Stay tuned. But, yeah, that division in at least is really good. I think from a wins perspective, you know, it's going to be a lot more wins in that division than last year. I think y'all won it with what, like 83?
Yeah.
We won with 88 wins.
88, 73 or something.
So I think it'll be a lot more wins in that division. I have y'all taking it. NL Central, you know, I know y'all won't like this, but I got the Cardinals. I got the Cardinals winning that division. The strong Braves contingency in the room did not appreciate that pick. But yeah, I got the Cardinals. Milwaukee's definitely going to be in the mix, but I got St. Louis. And then the NL West.
I'm going to roll with the Giants.
I was just about to say the Dodgers didn't win the division last year.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not going to make it.
But I think the Dodgers are going to win the division this year. You know, I got the Padres making a run to the NLCS where I think they will go down to the Dodgers.
Okay.
But I have the Dodgers winning this division. Obviously, it's baseball. So, you know, a lineup of a bunch of names won't just automatically be great. But we haven't seen a lineup quite like this. Yeah, it's something about them LA teams. But we haven't seen a lineup quite like this. And like we said, if Bellinger figures out how to play baseball again, Might be the best lineup we've ever seen.
I think historically this is one of the best lineups we've ever seen. We're seeing a lot of historical stuff right now in baseball because the LA lineup, just statistically speaking, right now, I know Evan's shaking his head, but dude, it is one of the best lineups ever.
Oh, I agree.
In baseball.
It's just gross.
The Mets, in my opinion, the Mets have the greatest 1-2 in their rotation in baseball history.
DeGrom and Scherzer.
I mean,
sure.
2 first ballot Hall of Fame pitchers.
Imagine if they could have kept Stroman.
Yes.
Hey.
Do they still have Thor?
Syndergaard. No, Syndergaard's playing for the Angels now. So
that's a good pickup for them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Watch out for the Angels too, but yeah.
So, kind of moving on.
Wait,
what you got?
Okay.
I feel like we always got to do this.
What you got for me?
Way too early predictions for the World Series.
Way too early
way,
predictions.
Now,
do that for everything.
Okay. All right.
Way too early.
Four Y's, way
Okay.
too early. I got the Dodgers. I touched on it. I think the Dodgers and the Padres going to play in the NLCS. I think the Dodgers walk away with that one. And then out of the AL, the fan in me wants to pick the Yankees. I can't pick against them, right?
You can't.
I mean, don't ask
Don't let
me
the bias.
because I'll tell you to pick against them.
Don't let the bias.
Man, Toronto is just so good, but I'm gonna come out of left field. I think the White Sox are probably gonna go to the World
That is
Series.
totally
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
I got the White Sox coming out. I think that they're young and they're talented. They've kind of had some situations. Tony La Russa is doing different things with them, and them not really appreciating him as a manager, and kind of being out of touch with those guys and being an old guy, kind of the old guard. And the young dudes want to do their thing, the bat flips, and they're a very fun team to watch, kind of like the same vein of a Padres type. I think that they figure it out, and I think that they probably make a run to the World Series. As much as it pains me to say that, but you weren't going to hear me pick the Red Sox or the Blue Jays.
No, I
And
know.
You definitely weren't going to hear
No.
me pick the Astros.
Yeah.
So,
Astros stole it from y'all in 2017.
oh man,
Yankees should have won the World Series in 2017.
don't remind me. But yeah, by default, I got the White Sox. But yeah, if I'm taking all my biases out, probably going Dodgers, Blue Jays, and I got the Dodgers winning it all.
I got the Reds, Orioles. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm gonna stick with my earlier one, way too early, but the Braves, Yankees.
Mm.
And who do you have winning? Braves fan.
I'm trying not to be biased.
That bias.
That bias is calling you in, though.
Think about the depth.
Hey,
I'm gonna think about good players versus 2 great players, so I'm gonna go with the Braves.
Braves fan.
Got
Yankee
so
hey, I'm guilty.
Wesley, I like this. I like this way too early. This is good.
Okay.
ALCS White Sox versus the Toronto Blue Jays. A 7-game amazing series.
Fun series.
Amazing, fun, young players on both sides. Bat flips, Tony La Russa getting mad and being a boomer. Can't stand La Russa. And I've got the Blue Jays winning in 7 that game. Or in that series. NLCS, who else but the Braves and the Dodgers, for sure. I have the Braves winning in 6, actually, in that series. Just as we did last year.
I like that, Moxon. But in my case, I'm siding with Renzo.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Blue Jays
Mm-hmm.
and the Dodgers.
Okay.
And the Blue Jays get it.
All right.
That would pain me.
I know it would.
That's
But
better
that's
than
my
me.
that's my way too early. Way too early.
I think the Blue Jays will get it as well, Wesley. I think the Blue Jays will beat the Braves in the World Series.
Now, I'm kind of glad that, you started that, because we're going to go from our way too early World Series prediction to our way too early MLB predictions when we talk about awards.
Oh, awards. Okay. All right.
Hey,
All right.
AL MVP, at this point, I'm going Vlad Jr.
Okay.
His ability to carry a lineup, his power. He's just
Inhuman power.
one of the best hitters in baseball. Man, we don't have many guys like him. Now, of course, I think that Aaron Judge will be in the discussion. Altuve will be in the discussion.
Altuve, okay.
Another, Tim Anderson will be in the discussion.
Okay.
But I'm going Vlad Jr. as of right now.
I got Vlad Jr. as well.
Vlad. What do you think, Evan?
Talking about AL? Oh, you guys are gonna make. Ooh. All right. So I was talking about Mickey Mantle, our next generation. If he can stay healthy, I'm going with Mike Trout. People are so sleepy on him. He's done so well. I feel so bad for him that he's stuck with the Angels. I mean, not really, because his contract's ridiculous. But I mean, like, when you're looking at from like a winning perspective,
0 playoff wins.
Yeah.
For the best player of our generation.
I'm gonna go with if he can stay healthy, Mike Trout.
AL MVP repeat Shohei Ohtani. I think
like
we'll
that.
win.
I can see that.
I think Shohei will just prove to be so valuable again in being either an elite hitter or solid pitcher or an elite pitcher or solid hitter this year.
And the only reason I have Vlad Jr. is because last year took a historic season for him to beat out Vlad.
Exactly.
And I just don't think – I may be wrong. I just don't think that's happening
again.
Back to back.
Yeah. Yeah, if Vlad puts up his numbers again like he did last year, he'll win it, I think. Yeah. I just have to be a little conservative. I think Shohei will get it. But if that's AL MVP for me, and overall MVP I have him as. But Juan Soto, NL MVP for
he's
sure.
a stud.
He is a stud.
Juan Soto, best pure, just in terms of pure plate discipline and hitting, is the best hitter in baseball in my opinion.
I'm thinking.
I understand.
I mean, I can see Juan Soto, but because you said him, I'm going to say someone else.
Oh, man.
If it's Wander Franco, I'm leaving.
They're going to lose to us. I'm going to say Mookie Betts.
Mookie?
Yeah.
Okay. 2008 MVP. Or 2008, let's do it. 2018 MVP.
Yeah.
Okay. Mookie.
So, AL Cy Young. This is where my bias really shines
I was
through.
about to say, here we go.
Oh, no. Don't
Here we
pick
go.
him. After just such a...
I can't pick Garrett Cole now
That's what
just
you
because of
gotta
the
pick.
start
That's
that
what
he
you-
had. I can't, I obviously can't pick him now. But, I think Robbie Ray will be in the discussion.
I think
I
that's
think,
fair.
of course, Verlander's going to be in the discussion. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he's still good. Shohei will be in the discussion. I don't know if he'll pitch enough innings per game, really, because they like to pull him early because he hits and everything.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to lean Shane Bieber of the former Cleveland, Slurs, the now Guardians.
Yes, now Guardians.
So I'm going to go with Shane Bieber.
I'm going to throw a curveball and go with Jordan Romano.
Okay. Okay.
Why is
It's a
that?
good, nice dark horse pick.
I mean, he's already 4-0, or he's played in 4 games,
He has played a lot.
and I mean, he's not. It's early, but I mean, if you look at his stats, let's see here. I gotta pull it up. Don't quote me on it. But yeah, no, he's something about him. I don't know. Just stay tuned, all right? Just stay tuned, and we'll come back to it.
Got it.
Hey, that Blue Jays, they got some arms.
That's what
man.
I'm saying.
Absolutely.
They got
Blue Jays got Gossman, got Hyunjin Ryu. Yeah.
Yeah, they got some arms.
Shane Bieber, I got AL Cy Young for sure. I think he will have a career season. I just think he's set up to do so. Who you got?
You said for AL?
AL Cy
I got Lucas.
Giolito.
Yes, sir, for the Sox.
Dang.
I'd like to see it.
That'd be
that's
sick.
It's my AL World biased AL World
Well, see, you
Series
said
pick.
I had Shane. I was thinking Shane Bieber as well.
Yeah.
But then I was like, let me not. Or Garrett Cole as well. I thought about him as well. But
Yeah.
I do want Garrett Cole to win one because I think he got just robbed last year.
Yeah.
Robbed.
Yeah, he
He did.
Now, he didn't. I know it's a regular season award, but that playoff performance didn't really build him any favor. But
Yep.
Right.
yeah, I think that.
Good thing it doesn't count against them. Joel Embiid will find that out this year. It won't count.
Oh.
But man, no, I got Garrett Cole. Sorry, bias took over.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I can't do it. So my NL MVP award is kind of
Cy Young or MVP?
MVP.
Gotcha.
It's kind of hinged on a few things. When is Acuna supposed to get back?
Acuna's supposed to get back either late April or early May.
I was thinking about that too.
So I think if he can play enough games, he'll definitely be in the discussion.
For sure.
If Tatis can get back and play enough games, he'll be in the discussion. Mookie Betts is in that Mike Trout tier where he'll always be up there no matter what.
Freddie Freeman?
No, sir.
We don't speak of that name.
No, sir. I don't think so.
Y'all gotta stop being so hard on him, man. That we just wanted to go home and see his family.
Yeah, he could play for the Angels.
This one's coming out of a little bit out of left field, just a tad. And I hate to say it because, it's not even a rivalry, really. I mean, they don't win. But talking about the best. I got Pete Alonso winning MVP.
Okay.
That's not,
I think,
I like that.
consistent bat,
He can
home run
crank it.
hitter.
Yeah.
I think
I
Pete
really like
Alonso
Pete Alonso.
definitely has the power for sure. The problem is with Pete Alonso, it's actually not really his fault. It's the position he plays.
First base.
It's not really doesn't provide much defensive value there.
Okay.
But if he hits well enough, it doesn't matter where he plays. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a possibility.
So that's my pick.
I already said.
How's the room feeling?
I mean, I like that. I like the outlier. I said that about Mike Trout, so
Yeah.
can't really go against that.
If we're in a day and age where we're calling Mike Trout a dark horse MVP candidate, that's
Well, he's just been hurt.
Yeah,
but no, hold on.
that's
He's been
trouble.
hurt the past 2
that,
years.
yeah,
That
no,
is true.
of course. I'm just saying though, like he's still the king. He still has the crown.
I don't know why no one talks about it.
Yeah.
So, Wesley, what are you thinking for NL MVP?
Mookie Betts.
Not mad at it. Can't be mad at it, right?
Can't be.
He's always up there.
So I think he's going to win.
He's on that short list. You talk about top, 8, 9, 10 best players in the game.
I'd say Mookie's about 6 or 7. I'd say actually.
He's got to be up there.
I was thinking 5.
Defense
But
and-
I like 6 or
4.
7.
Yeah.
I like 6 or 7.
I mean, just he has elite defense. That's the key with him. People forget that he is
I'm just
one
thinking
of the
about
best
that
outfielders in
Braves
baseball.
catch.
Yeah, that killer in 2020. Yes.
So, NL Cy Young.
NL Cy Young, my dark horse candidate of the year, Miami Marlins Sandy Alcantara. I don't know if you guys have heard of him.
I have.
I think Marlins just have an underrated rotation. I think the Marlins, if the Phillies bats get cold, I think the Marlins have a chance to go third in the division this year actually and pass the Phillies. It all depends on offense, but I have Sandy. I think it's Alcantara or Alcantara, however you pronounce his last name. The dude is a beast. He's young. He's good. He's coming from their farm system, and I love when teams use their depth to build up their rotation, just like the Braves have done, just like the Dodgers have done as well. Even though the Dodgers have gone out and got big names, they use their farm system just like the Brewers have done. The Marlins have one of the best farm systems in baseball, if not the best, and I've loved seeing them build it up, even though they like to throw the ball at Ronald Acuna sometimes.
I'm going to go with repeat it and go with Corbin Burns.
Corbin,
Yeah. With the
I like
Brewers.
that. I like
can he
that.
do it again?
That's what I'm thinking.
Definitely can.
It's hard to repeat. When
Yeah,
there's
it's
an
hard.
award, especially got voted for T,
Mm-hmm.
pitchers, hitters see your stuff
That's
enough,
true.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it'll be interesting. Wesley, what you think?
Max Scherzer.
'Kay.
But
Can't go wrong with Scherzer.
Yeah.
and this
Looks
is
good so far.
It's really not even a sleeper, but this is my sleeper. Walker Buehler for the Dodgers.
That's who I was thinking.
And they've had the
Dude's a
most
beast.
Cy Young, 12 Cy Young award winners.
Yeah.
And I could see him being the 13th.
Yeah, he struck out like 10. He went off last year against the Braves in the playoffs.
And
Yeah.
I very much could see that happening.
Walker Buehler, just his age,
Mm.
it's crazy that he's this good and this young. Not many pitchers like that.
Braves fans really gonna like this one.
Uh-oh.
He hasn't really started off well, but Max Fried.
Max Fried
got to be in the discussion, man. I really like Max Fried.
I do too.
I really like Max Fried.
I can see him as an all-star.
Okay.
Him starting off, I know record, but he's already 0-2.
I know, and that's the only thing. Now, just wanted to be a little different because originally I had Walker Buehler, but someone said it before me.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
but,
I'll take it.
Fried, Buehler, I think, I'm not sure the starter he's had, but Darvish has to be somewhere in the discussion. I think he's
that's
really
okay.
solid. He's
Completely forgot.
kind of falling a little bit under the radar now, part of a solid San Diego Padres team.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those are the guys I have. Urias is another guy that, I think you can't sleep on. Another arm out of that Dodgers rotation. Definitely a solid team. So I mean, yes, it's gonna be a fun baseball season. And it's been a really fun show.
Yeah.
I'm Lorenzo Robinson.
I'm Moxon Glosson.
I'm Wesley Price.
And I'm Evan Quinones.
And this has been the latest episode of RU Sports Speaks.